Hello everyone. Today we are going to learn about the next topic, which is for theory and practical, that is quality control test for biofertilizers, biopesticides and bioagents. Among them biofertilizer is very important. Let us see some introduction about quality control test for biofertilizers. So the quality of biofertilizer is very important, that decides the success or failure and acceptance or rejections by the end users and the farmers. That means the that quality of biofertilizer decides whatever that biofertilizer is used or not by the farmers and the end users. Next, the basically that quality, that means what? The number of selected active microorganism in or per gram or per ml of biofertilizer. That means if you take 1 ml of any biofertilizer, so how much amount of active microorganism is present in that one. So this is about the quality. That means if the more or number of microorganism is more, then or the count is more, then the quality is very important. Next one is about the quality standards are available mostly for only rhizobium in different countries. The specification of biofertilizers are differ from the country to country and maybe certain parameters like we have to check. That means the quality. That means what? Quality of biofertilizer means what? We have to check the microbial density at the time of manufacture, then at the time of expiry, then the period, then the permissible contamination, the pH of that biofertilizer, moisture content in biofertilizer, amount of microbial strain in biofertilizer, and the which carrier used in biofertilizer. So these are the some parameters that decide the some quality of biofertilizers. Next one, the microbial growth of any biofertilizer or microorganism, it may be represented by the increment in cell mass. That means how much number of that cell or microorganism is increases. Next one, how we have to decide the number or growth of that microorganism or biofertilizer by the utilization of nutrients or accumulation of metabolic products can be related to the growth of organisms. That means that particular microorganisms is absorb or utilize the nutrients, how much amount of nutrients will be there, and at the same time during their growth of particular microorganism, how much amount of that or how much amount of that metabolic products they release during their growth. So that decides the growth of that particular organism. Second one is there, how we have to count the that microorganism. We have to count this cell by directly with the help of microscope or microscopy, or with the help of colony counter meter or electronic particle counter. So with the help of colony counter meter, electronic particle counter or microscope, we have to count the particular microorganisms. Next, we have to how we have to done the quality, or how we have to done the procedure of release of that biofertilizer. First, we have to identify the biofertilizers or particular microorganisms. Okay, and after that we have to count the particular microorganism with the help of colony counter meter or colony forming unit. Next one is there, between or during the growth of that particular microorganism. After identification, the regular infection or regular inspection for quality control by the authority under acts. That means we have to do the regular inspection, the count. Just we have to do the how the activity of that microorganism is there, or we have to do the count of that particular microorganism after the certain intervals, and through that we decide the microorganism may be increased or not between that after certain intervals. If microorganism is increases, so it is well and good. That means count is increases or microorganism is increases. And last one is there, if the count is increases, so it is good. And last one is there, we have to register that biofertilizer under the certain rules and regulations with the help of certain authority. So evaluation of effect for the target crops, just we have to, after if the activity of that particular microorganism or biofertilizer is good, then we think about that the effectivity of that particular biofertilizer or microorganism related to the pathogens, whether it is effective for management of different diseases, yield of that particular crop is increases or not. So by considering all that parameters, after onwards we release the certain biofertilizer under the certain rules and regulations. Then we discuss about the quality parameters of rhizobium, mostly in case of biofertilizers, the parameters of rhizobium. So quality of that rhizobium we have to check, and they are checked with the help of certain parameters. In that, the three parts are involved for the quality check. First one is 1.1, that is mother culture test. Before producing rhizobium biofertilizers, we have to check the mother culture on the basis of following points. Okay, so before producing biofertilizers or before checking quality, first we have to think about the growth. How we have to check the growth of that rhizobium? By sticking the mother culture on East Mannitol Congo red agar media or Yamma media. We can say Yamma, that is East extract mannitol agar media. On that, just we have to the stick out with the help of inoculating needle, and just we have to check the growth of rhizobium after certain intervals. So for fast growing rhizobia, the colonies will be appears within 3 to 5 days, and slow growing rhizobia it will be appears after 5 to 7 days. And on the basis of that, we have to check the growth of rhizobium on Yamma media. Then purity, we have to check the purity, B purity. We have to check the purity of rhizobium by sticking the culture of rhizobium on glucose peptone agar media, that is GPA agar media. That plate we have to incubate for 24 hours at an room temperature, that is 28 to 30 degrees Celsius. So after 24 hours or after 3 to 4 days, if the pure growth of that rhizobium will be appeared on GPA media, so we can use for the further multiplication. So how we have to decide the good growth and the color changes? So good growth and color changes will be appears. That means certain violet color will be appears on the media. So that indicates the growth of rhizobium. Then C, growth stain. A loop of mother culture is checked by gram staining. That is, we have to do the gram staining technique. So rhizobium cell, as we know that it is gram negative. So after doing the gram staining technique, it retains the safranin color. Safranin color. That means red color. That means after staining of rhizobium, that rhizobium, if the growth of rhizobium is takes place, so rhizobium indicates red color because this rhizobium is gram negative bacteria. The cell should appear red and not violet when observation is done under the microscope, as we say earlier. Next, test. After mother culture test, second 1.2 test is broth test. Broth means liquid test. So we have to do the following good conditions for checking the broth test or broth culture of that rhizobium. First one, pH. Okay, so slow growing rhizobia such as a rhizobium for the soybean, mung bean, peanut, it produces the little basic compounds, and due to that the slight pH will be increased of that rhizobium culture. So after incubation the pH will increase. That is, example, pH before the growing of rhizobia is near about 6. Then and after the growing the pH of is about 6.1 to 6.2. So if the pH is increases, so that broth, that means there is a good or there is a good characteristics of rhizobium, that means there is a quality of that rhizobium is good. But if the broth pH decreases, it means there is a certain contamination is occurs. That means other microorganism is enters into that broth. Next one is their staining technique. That is a gram stain we have to use. So rhizobial cells are stained for the observation of shape and size of the cells. So after staining, the size and shape of the cells that indicates the clear-cut identification of rhizobial strain. So that staining is done. So how we have to observe? The cells of rhizobia are rod shaped with one or two cells sticking together. That means the cells of rhizobia that are stick with each other. They do not appear in long chain. They are appear in sticky chain. Long chained cells are indicative of contaminants. That means what? There is a contamination which occurs if the long chain is appears after observation under the microscope. Then gram stained cells should be appears red, not violet, as we discussed previous, because they are gram negative bacteria. Carbon fusion staining is an easier and faster method. That means if the staining is done with the help of carbon fusion, so staining procedure is faster and it is quite easy as compared to other stain. So rhizobium cells can be routinely checked using the carbon fusion state or stain. Then see about the optical density. So broth culture with active rhizobial growth will become a turbid in 3 to 4 days. Broth turbidity or optical density we can check with the help of spectrophotometer. So at 540 will show the reading. That means if the spectrophotometer at 550 will it shows the reading of 0 to 1.0 optical density. The value of OD correlates to the numbers of cells. If OD value are high, the numbers are also high. That means if the number or OD, that is optical density value, is increases, so that indicates the rhizobium colony is also increases or count is also increases. We can measure the cells from 10 to minus 8 to 10 to minus 9 per ml. This is the spectrophotometer. Here we have to check the count or optical density of that rhizobium culture. Here the total counts. Here the total count includes the viable or living cells along with the dead cells by using the special counter that is called as an Petrov-Hauser counter. For that, at least 10 small square all around the total area are counted and not only in the one large square. That means total 10 square, different square we have to selected, not a one large square. And while using that, we have to take this certain precautions. So cells have to be homogeneous, avoid the clumping of cells. Okay. So some if there is a clumping of cells occurred, so it gives total count only. So this is about the certain limitations of the total count. Here we have to see the Petroff-Hauser counting machine. Here microorganism we have to put on the slide, then cover with the cover slip. Here just we have to cover with the cover slip. After that we have to, after adding the bacterial suspension, we have to cover with the cover slip and just we have to observe under the, just we have to take the count or bacterial cells we have to count in the squares. Here in that figure, last figure, here indicate the total count. Here the total count red indicates the total count of that rhizobial bacterials. So as the gram negative bacteria, it indicates the red in color. Here another, here the total count we have to increase, we have to count it. Yeah. Okay, then last one, or here next one is their viable count. Here total count and viable count, that's living cells. How we have to count it? We have to count the living cells with the help of spread plate or drop plate methods. Just we have to do the spread plate by making the serial dilution of 10 raised to minus 1 to 10 raised to minus 6 or 10 raised to minus 7, and after that serial dilution, then the three replications of 1 ml of broth from 10 raised to minus 6 and 10 raised to minus 5 are spread over the yeast extract Congo red media or plates. That means we have to take the 1 ml suspension from 10 raised to minus 6 and 10 raised to minus 5 and that are spread over the Yamma media. Then these plates are incubated at a room temperature for 7 days, and after 7 to 8 days the colonies of rhizobial cells are round, opaque, white and smooth margin. That is, the colonies of rhizobium cells are observed. How we have to calculate or how we have to observe that cells? of rhizobium, so on the basis of their characteristics. So the cells of rhizobium is slightly roundish, opaque, that is transparent, white and smooth cells are observed under the viable cells, so that indicates the viable cells of rhizobium. Then next one, so next one is carrier test 1.3, that is last test, it is called as a carrier test. So that test we have to discuss in next lecture. So this is a first part of that lecture. Second part we have to discuss in next lecture. So if you have any difficulty, any queries regarding that topic, so please you should message me or WhatsApp me. Thank you.